All right, an update on the yard modules. Doesn't look like much has been done, but I've done a good chunk of stuff. This was the first Saturday that I've had that I could just focus on the modules themselves and not have to worry about anything else. I still had to go out and buy some stuff for it, but it works out and it didn't take too long to do that. So starting on this right side module, I got all of the switches hooked up to the toggle switches, and everything is good, ready to go with them. I have all of the 6 wires soldered to the back of the switches as well, or the toggle switches. So just showing everything's working and is good to go. One thing that I found was the throw bar distance and the toggle switch distance are a little out of proportion, as you can see. What I ended up doing with, as you can see, was bending some of the wire to alleviate some of that stress on the throw bar itself. And even though I think this is the worst out of all of them that is giving weird things, if you push it just a little bit, it still picks up, even with it bouncing back just a little bit, and it still power routes to the frog correctly. So I'm not worried about that. This one, we already had cut the wire, and I didn't really want to redo it if I didn't have to, but I ended up buying some more wire anyway, or music wire. So if it does keep being an issue, or if it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, I'll just fix it, but that is that. I also got all of the feeders soldered in to this side. So this side is pretty much ready to go in terms of wiring. I just need to use suitcase connectors and get everything hooked up to the bus. I also got the PSX put in, and that is suitcase connected to the bus, as you can see. There, the wire's feeding over there. And then I have the yard bus going over to the terminal block that is over here for that. I was going to hook up the yard wires and get them going over here, but I realized that I needed to do some prep work and work over on the left module to accomplish that. And the reasoning for that is the toggle switches to turn track power on and off in the yard are going to be over here. And I knew that I needed to get these hooked up and going so that I can just do one track at a time and get them hooked into this Molex connector. I went with the Molex connector for this. That way there wasn't any confusion as to which plug put into which that can happen with Anderson power poles, especially having 16. I think about 16 for what we've got. And so went with that for sake of ease, because I may not be the one that puts this together at train shows if I'm not at a show. So that's that for that. Also, I have one of the pieces printed out that I need to fill in for these, but I'm taking a break from that just because I've got some other stuff that I'm working on. Yes, I know I can set it and forget it, but I'm just being lazy, to be honest. But all the feeders are good to go. I'll start doing that tomorrow. I also have the wires for the signals cut and ready to go. The only different thing that is going to be with the quote-unquote blue bus for the yard tracks is it's going to come across, and I've got this, where is it at? This switch back here, the back switch here, and that little piece of track, and this switch and that little piece of track that need to be on the bus that is not connected to the toggle switches, so that there's always power going to them, since there really isn't any reason not to have that, and it would just cause issues if it wasn't, because one of the switches may be turned off that's feeding it, and there'll just be an issue. So the bus line is going to come down down to here. I'm going to feed these wires over, and then I'll end the blue line here and feed each, actually it's going to end about here, back about here, and then I'll run a single wire that these will suitcase connect into and go. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's going to go, the blue bus is going to go all the way over to here and end here, and then it's going to pick up from each individual switch over to here, and then back along to the proper bus that it's going to be. And I'm also going to run the black wire all the way along here as well, just so that I could trim some of these feeders down a little bit and have a couple coming over here and a couple going over there, just to make things simple. So that's where we're at. I'll get soldering and whatnot tomorrow. Also, just so that I know what I'm doing and kind of fill everybody in as well, depending on which track it is, in this case, this is the front one. So the red and the black are the track power, and then the green is the frog, which will be one side of the toggle, not the toggle, but the slide switch, micro switch, whatever. And then the signals are from these three. And yes, I know some of them are double colors, but the green is different enough, at least to me, which works out so that the light green goes to the green light on the signal. The orange, more orangish color, goes to the yellow light on the signal. And then the yellow, oh my goodness. Oh, it's getting late. The white is the common on it that, will actually go to the dwarf signal. And this is just the power, whatever, or not the power, but the ground, and the power goes to it, which in turn, by switching it, makes the light turn whichever color. So this is getting a little long. We'll probably call that good and have this be its own separate update. But like I said, get the feeders in. I don't think I've said it in a video for a bit, but thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. And, thank you for those that have subscribed. It, really lets me know that I'm doing something right. So, and I also thank, those that leave comments. I've seen a couple here and there that have been, good, and actually will help me, do better videos. So anyway, with that, thank you, and we'll see you all in the next one.